Those moments when a book or movie, TV show just punches you in the gut. Not physically, I mean, that hurts. I'm talking about emotionally. When an event just wrenches your soul. Let's talk about those today. Welcome to Fantasy for the Ages, the show where a father and son talk about fantasy, science fiction, and other nerdy things we enjoy. Today, just Jim the father here with you for an episode with something kind of emotionally gripping. If you enjoy what you see here today, be sure to hit the like button. We really appreciate that. And subscribe. Zach and I have so much here for you to enjoy. We hope you'll come around again and again. Warning, there will be spoilers here in this episode. I'm going to be talking about various books, movies, TV shows, and you might not have read or seen them yet. So I will always tell you up front which item I'm going to talk about before I share a spoiler. So if you don't want to know anything about that one, just stop it and jump ahead. I will have chapter markers on all of these. So you won't have to be spoiled. You'll have a chance. Just be ready to stop the video and move ahead. Way back at episode 48, Zach and I came together with our own separate suggestions and developed a list of the top 10 most gut punch moments from science fiction and fantasy, both books and media. I went and reviewed that list today. That episode's well over 2 years old now. I wanted to see how I felt about it. Did it hold up? And, well, I have freshened the list a little up for you here today. Plus, that was an audio-only episode before we're bringing videos to YouTube. So this is the first time our channel is bringing a list like this to you in video format. I've only got one new addition to the list. The order of the other things has shuffled around a bit, so it's more than just one new thing added. Oh, and yeah, one coming in means something else came off, and it wasn't one of mine. Yeah, one of Zach's books got the boot. Hey, he's not here today. You snooze, you lose. So let's check out what I have now for my top 10 list of gut punch moments and scenes from science fiction and fantasy. First up, number 10, A Storm of Swords is where this one comes from. A book in A Song of Ice and Fire by George R. R. Martin. And specifically, I'm talking about the Red Wedding. Also shown powerfully, of course, on HBO's Game of Thrones. A shocking betrayal and massacre that changes the course of the series. Wow, when I saw that. Now, I read it first, and it was viscerally, ugh. And I had the same feeling watching it on TV. That's a big one. Number 9. From Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince by J.K. Rowling, Dumbledore's death at the hands of Snape. While from the book, where it's better, an immobilized and invisible Harry just has to watch it play out in front of his eyes. Oh my goodness. There's a lot going on behind Snape killing Dumbledore there, but it doesn't change the fact that, oh man, both to see him offed like that, but to have it happen right in front of Harry and he can't lift a finger. Number 8, from A Memory of Light, the final book of The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson at that point. There's a lot of things I could bring up here, but for me, I'm talking about Ruark's tragic turning and death in the last battle due to the manipulations, the compulsion of the Forsaken Grendel. And to make it worse, as he goes crazy and starts killing all the good guys, it's Aviendha who ends up stopping him, putting him down, and then discovering who she's just killed. Tragic, man. Number 7, from Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. Ender, unknowingly in this book, and the whole book builds up to it, he commits genocide. And then when he realizes That it's not just been a game that he has mastered, but he has literally commanded the forces of humanity to wipe out an alien race. The consequences to him, what it does to him. He's a kid. That's a gut punch. Number 6, from Merida, Dragon Lady of Pern by Anne McCaffrey. This part of the Dragon Riders of Pern series. And this is the moment near the end of the book when she is lost to the Between, along with the dragon that she had borrowed, that she's riding, as she and others are on this mission to get the vaccine everywhere across the continent to everybody practically at once. The only way they have figured out they can stop the pandemic that's just decimating the people of Pern. She pushed herself too far. She's exhausted. Her dragon's exhausted, but they're done. They're successful, and they just have to jump home. And in her exhaustion, she makes one little mistake, and she's gone. It sucked, man. It really sucked. She deserved better. Number 5, Flowers for Algernon by... I forgot to write down the author's name, but his last name is Keyes. This is the one moment in it when Charlie, who started out very mentally handicapped, has got an incredibly genius state, and then it starts to go backwards. And we get to see it first when his friend Algernon, the mouse, starts to decline. And it's just tragic to see everything that Charlie has been able to experience now slipping away. And for him to be so incredibly intelligent and realize there's nothing he can do to stop his fate. Wow. Number 4, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. When Spock sacrifices himself for the crew, for his friends, and he's just in the radiation chamber and he's dying painfully, but almost like not fast enough. And there's Kirk outside, and just, it's rough, leading to the even more emotionally rough funeral scene. That's a moment where Kirk delivers something that isn't overacted. It's just right. Okay, number 3. This is the one I've added to the list now because I hadn't read it the last time. And this is from Changes, a book in the Dresden Files, book 12. Near the end of the book, massive battle scene when Harry has no choice but to sacrifice Susan, the love of his life. He has to kill her in order to defeat the red vampires. And she wants him to do it at that point, and do it now before it's too late. And he does. And it just about kills him. And then he does it in front of her daughter. His daughter. Wow. Okay. Painful. Gut punch. Number 2. The second one I'm bringing to you from George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire. This is from A Dance with Dragons, book 5. And this is Jon Snow's death. Right there, that final scene of the book, when he's betrayed by the men of the Night's Watch. They think he's the traitor, and they turn on him, they sucker him in, and they all stab him to death. This is also seen on the television screen, and it had a very similar gut punch moment for you. Keep in mind, despite what we then see in future seasons of TV, when it happens, there's no way of knowing he's going to come back. And of course, if you've only read the books, you don't know. Maybe he isn't coming back. Martin could write whatever he wants if he ever publishes the rest of the books, but Jon Snow did not deserve that. He is such a good guy. All right, my number 1 on this list is from Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix by J.K. Rowling again, so a second one from the Harry Potter books. And this, of course, is when Sirius Black dies. What a moment there. It's like, are you kidding? Bellatrix! Ugh. But that death leaves Harry without this father figure that he's finally connected with. He's going to be able to go live with. Finally, something's turning better for Harry, and in a moment, it's gone. Mm. Man, these gut punch moments, they just tear your heart out. I want to give one honorable mention. Those are my 10 from science fiction and fantasy, but there's one from a book I read originally as a fifth grader. I read it later again. It's not science fiction or fantasy, but it is definitely fiction, and it's Where the Red Fern Grows from Wilson Rawls. This book, there's a couple of moments that could go down here, but the one I'm pointing to is when his hunting dog, when his dogs die. First, the one dies, and the other just won't leave his grave, and then she dies, basically lost too. And I'm like, are you kidding me? These dogs mean everything to this boy. They saved him, and then they're gone. Mm. So you're welcome for a little touch of depression today. But these are also moving moments of books and shows that we've enjoyed. And when something touches you in the heart, that's why you enjoy it on a whole nother level. So I kind of hope you did enjoy this walk down memory lane. And let me know what you think. And if you have some top gut punch moments that you want to share with me, put them down in the show notes. But be careful, spoiler light, because I might not have read it yet. Don't ruin it for me. Be real clear, list what it's from first, and then drop down a little before you give the reveal. Thank you. All right, that's where I'll leave you today. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.